Hello! Welcome to, finally for me, normal time for you, or is it normal when it's only the second month of a project? Who knows? But for me, this is incredibly late to be starting filming this vlog, because where's my phone? There it is. It is already somehow the 17th of August, like it feels like the month is nearly over, because it kind of is. And yeah, I'm only just filming the start of these vlogs. Oh dear, oh dear. So I suppose my main excuse is that I was on holiday for a week and I did take this camera with me. I fully, I promise, intended on filming some vlog footage while I was there, on updating how my reading was going during the holiday, but actually I didn't get that much time for reading. This always happens. I take books on holiday and I think, yeah, I'm going to be reading it, and even if I don't take very many books, I'm like, I'm going to spend so much time reading it. I'm going to be using all these little bits of time to do some reading, and that didn't really happen. I mostly read in some quite big chunks, to be honest with you. So what have I managed to read so far? So actually before the holiday, I finished reading The Sun and the Void, which was the most recent Lou Craig book at the time. And I raced to finish this before going on holiday because of the read-along, and I really enjoyed this one. But it was a bit of a rush trying to get it all in before the end. But thankfully, when it got towards the end, it became really gripping, like almost all books do, that I enjoy. And so I couldn't put it down anyway. I didn't want to put it down anyway, so it was quite easy in the end. But there was a little bit in the middle there where I was like touch and go. I was like, I don't really want to drop out of the read along and have to finish it when I get back from holiday because I'm so far into it. I'm going to be spending my whole holiday wishing I managed to finish it beforehand, but that wasn't the case. I did finish it. So that was the first book, off to a strong start there. And on the train, I think on the way down, I managed to polish off a ebook that I've been working on for a really long time. Like, I'm telling you, I had been reading this book in little bursts on my phone, like on the train and stuff, since March 22nd, 2022, which isn't as bad as some of the books like currently reading list, but it is quite bad for a book I was really enjoying. But that's because it's The Art of Gathering, How We Meet and Why It Matters by Priya, which is a book about kind of like event organising, but really interesting and really person focused and really focused on getting people to build connection, and it is so densely packed with information that I never wanted to read too much in one go. I've scratched my neck and made it red. Literally just while sitting and talking to you. But anyway, yeah, so because it's so dense, it just took me such a long time to get through it because I only ever want to read like one chapter at a time, if that, so that I had time for it to fully absorb and sink in. But now I finished it, and you know what? I feel like I might, on this reading, get to the end of the year and I'd probably start rereading it next year because it's just so relevant to what I want to do in life. And then the next book I finished was an audiobook. So I think I've mentioned before that I currently have an Audible subscription. I'm trying to read everything I want to read / listen to in the Plus catalogue so that I can unsubscribe with no regrets, and go back to listening to primarily library audiobooks, because I'm just racking up credits at this point. I have like 5 unspent credits. I'm not about that life. I want to get through the Plus catalogue, which is the reason I subscribed in the first place, because there were some Christmas books I wanted to listen to, and get through that, pick some books in my credits, and then unsubscribe. And then I just listen to the ones I've bought with credits and live happily ever after, and probably never get an Audible subscription again because this is really bad. I mean, the first few credits are really cheap because I got one of those like intro deals, but no, it's over. But yeah, I listened to Different Not Less, a Neurodivergent's Guide to Embracing Your True Self and Finding Your Happily Ever After by Chloe Hayden, they've put quite a lot of books up about neurodiversity at the moment, and so I wanted to listen to some of them. And this, I think, would be such a good gift for teenagers. I wish I'd had this book when I was a teenager. It was my main thought listening to this. Like, I'm an adult now, so some of this stuff is kind of a bit like, it's stuff that I've already dealt with, and I know. But if I'd had that when I was a teenager, my God, I would have been much more prepared for life and felt much better about myself. So yeah, buy it for your teenage relatives, put it in your school libraries, etc. So next, while on holiday, over breakfast one day, I finished reading The Chairs Are Where the People Go, which I think I mentioned I bought in July from Oxfam Bookshop on a whim. I saw it there and I bought it, and I was like, okay, right, you've bought a book, you've acquired a new book has entered the realm. So you know what you're going to do, Julianne? You are going to start reading it right away. So I did. I took it to work, I think a couple of days later, as my commute book, started reading it, absolutely loved it, decided to take it on holiday with me so I would finish it sooner. It's just brilliant. It's like a selection of really short essays on a variety of different topics, kind of loosely themed around living in the city, but it delves into improv, charades, teaching people, conferences. I wrote a LinkedIn post about it. Local activism, lots of different stuff. Like, for the most part, I agreed with what he was saying. There were a couple of points where I disagreed, but overall, I really, really enjoyed it, and it's not very long as well, so it was really satisfying. And some of the essays are like this. They're like less than a page long. They're only a couple of paragraphs. Some of them are a bit longer, but they're not. I don't think there are any that go over like 6 pages. So yeah, really, really satisfying, quick read. I'm really glad I bought it, and that I was naughty and I bought it because I did really enjoy it, and it was worth it. Next up, mostly on holiday, but a little bit on the day I got back, I finished reading Vivi, Conway and the Sword of Legend by Lizzie Huxley-Jones, which I bought at the launch and had signed, and was very much looking forward to reading because Hux is a mutual, and so I had seen them hyping up the book for months on end. I was so excited to meet the characters, and they were like better than self-hype, I guess is the best way to put it. I loved them all so much, especially the dog. So basically, this book is about a girl who discovers that she has a magical destiny, and it's all tangled up in Welsh legends, and that she's like the embodiment of the Lady of the Lake, like kind of like a reincarnation, but not. Like, they share the same heart, like part of the same soul, and she meets friends who are also like other, oh, I've forgotten the term. There's a term in this book which I had forgotten for what they are, but she meets new people, and she's reluctant to trust them at first because she's autistic and she's quite grumpy, but you know, they win her over, and it's just like squad goals, really. Squad goals are a really dated thing to say. I don't care, because I think that this book is squad goals. I think if I'd read this as a kid, I would have been extremely jealous of Vivi and wanted her life, basically. So yeah, there we go. I absolutely loved it and would strongly recommend it for you as well as children in your life, because we should all read children's books because they are a lot of fun, and this one was so much fun, and I can't believe I have to wait for the second one. Like, how rude is that? Ugh. Also on the train, on the way home, I read Second Best Friend by Pratt, which I had bought ages ago, and I read it on ebook on my phone because it's a really short book, and it's basically about a girl who becomes incredibly jealous of her best friend and starts to try and one-up her, and it's just sort of that. it was just really realistic. It's that sort of like way that the teenage brain can twist. And I mean the adult brain could do it as well, but it was just so quintessentially teenage. Like, that's why I loved it so much. It really captured that feeling of kind of irrationality, and trying to find your place in the world when you don't have that much control, and kind of trying to take control of the few things that you can influence in your life, where, you know, you don't get to pick how you spend your days. And yeah, I loved it. It was brilliant, and I really need to read Unboxed too, because I think is that the only outstanding non-Pratt book I have to read? Oh no, I also have to read Every Little Piece of My Heart, so I won't have completed non-Pratt until I've read both of those. But maybe. Maybe soon, we'll see. I am very tempted to get a hold of Every Little Piece of My Heart, just so that I can tick it off my list, tick them all off my list, because I am a completist and I really enjoy having read every single book by an author, and the fact that I haven't, but I am very close, is just extremely tantalising. Going back in Goodreads to where I am now. Okay, no, that's everything I've read. Moving on to currently reading. I am a little bit further through Making is Connecting. This is one of the most accessible academic kind of books I've ever read. It's just, yeah, I think anybody who's interested in creativity and connecting people would really enjoy this. So yeah, this is shaping up to be another strong recommend. I have not got any further in Seven Devils since I started it in July, I'm afraid, because I had to finish The Sun and the Void. Like, I started this when I was doing the read along with The Sun and the Void, and obviously when I had to kind of read ahead in the read along in order to finish it before my holiday, I had to pause this, and so I haven't picked it back up again. In fact, I don't have any fiction on the go right now, any fiction novels on the go, because I've done a little cheat. But I need to get into this soon, hopefully at the weekend. So tomorrow's Friday, and then I am on holiday. I'm having a proper staycation, the original use of the term, where I'm staying in my house. I hate when people use staycation to just mean a holiday in the UK, because no, that's a holiday in the UK. That's not a staycation. A staycation is when you stay in your house and go on day trips. I think it's offensive to call a holiday in the UK a staycation, because it implies it's not a real holiday, and that's very, that's quite classist, yeah. To be really blunt. So yeah, I'm hopeful that during my staycation I will finish this and a bunch of the other Lima Crate books, which are still on my TBR from my planning video. And I haven't started Howl's Moving Castle, but I think I'm going to bump that to next month. If I read everything else this month that's on my TBR, then I'll read it obviously, but I'm going to bump it. Because I acquired another fiction book from a local book swap. And Undercover Princess by Connie Glynn, and I've wanted to read this for ages, so I couldn't resist picking this up. And you know the rule I established, and I'm going to follow it now. The rule I established with this means that I have to read this like as soon as possible. So this is now on my TBR for this month. I have to read it this month. It is the law. Obviously, I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't, but it's the law. So yeah, that's on the list now instead of that. But hopefully I'll do Howl next month. I think September is a really lovely time to read children's books and young adult contemporary, because it gives me that back to school vibes. I've said this before, so yeah, I'm gonna hopefully have it on the TBR for next month. If I don't do an amazing job during my staycation of reading loads of books and get to it anyway. Then I tripped and I fell into some libraries, or rather I had to go to libraries for work. Like, I genuinely had to go to libraries for work. And while I was there, I returned some books that I'd had out for research for work. And I felt really proud of myself because I got through all of these books. And then I remembered the wellbeing section, and the wellbeing section has some really cool books. I've seen some of them there before. I really wanted to borrow them, so I went there. And the first time I was like, right, I'm just going to scan books and put them on my Goodreads to be on my library wish list for later. But then I had the sneaking thought that I may not be working at my current university anymore in a couple of months, and so I should probably borrow these books while I have the chance. So that's what I did. So I borrowed this book on rest because I'm one of the audiobooks I'm listening to right now, I'll talk about audiobooks in a bit, is The Nap Ministry. And so I'm really now become obsessed with the topic of rest because it's something I have historically been extremely bad at, and I have chronic health problems and I really need to learn to take care of myself. So I borrowed this book, Rest, Why You Get More Done When You Work Less, which is quite a productivity-focused way of thinking about it. The Nap Ministry is the complete opposite, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be sort of doing like a balanced point of view perspective. I'll probably lean more towards the Nap Ministry as point of view on rest, but we'll see. And I got Make Your Art No Matter What, because I just feel really creatively depleted and stressed out about the fact that I'm not making as much stuff as I used to because, again, health problems. So I thought this one might be motivating, might make me feel better. We'll see. And then I also got, and they were on the floor because so I'm in the middle of reading them. So one is 52 Ways to Walk, which I got at the same time as those other two. And I am, where am I? I'm on page 64, so I have been reading this as my commute book. This book is sort of designed that you could do like a walk every week from it, but actually quite a few of the types of walk I do already, and I do a walk every day that I work from home, at least. Sometimes I go to work and I still, like I go to the office to work or to campus to work, I mean, and I still do a walk. So I figured that I can do this in 52 days or less because there are types of walking I already do. So yeah, that will totally work within the time I've got left. And the other one I picked up today in a different library, and that is Playing for Time, Making Art as If the World Mattered. And as far as I can tell so far, because I'm not very far in, this is all about creating different forms of art that reflect and respond to the world as it is now. So like the climate crisis and various social issues. So I'm really excited about this. I don't know if I'm going to like properly read it cover to cover or if it'll be one that I sort of flick through in places, but I'm excited about it. It is massive though. So I need to get cracking on that. I'm a few pages in and I'm already really loving it, so hopefully we'll get through that one. And so audiobooks, I figured I should probably talk about the audiobooks in here because I have really tried to crack on with audiobooks in the last week or so, and I am like most of the way through a couple. And as I said before, I need to get through that Audible Plus catalogue so I can cancel it and then I can focus on some of the library books that I've had on hold for ages and just keep putting off. And yeah, really like focus on my my print books and catching up on YouTube. So at the moment I am I am most of the way through the Nap Ministry book, Rest is Resistance. And I'm also most of the way through Small Fry by Lisa Brennan-Jobs, which is a memoir by Steve Jobs' daughter, about being his daughter and also her mother's daughter, and yeah, just her whole upbringing really. I have quite a lot of books on this Audible list to get through, but I am optimistic. But you know what I have to do soon? I have to start Les Miserables because otherwise I will never get to read The Court of Miracles, and I need to read The Court of Miracles so that I can catch up with my Illumicray reading. So there we go. That was a bit of a long vlog. But we'll see. Over the next couple of weeks, it should just be short bursts of me updating you with how it's all going. So hopefully this won't turn into the nightmare video from hell. But yeah, see you soon. Hello. Sorry for this long weird angle. I'm being lazy and my bedroom is currently a mess. So it is Saturday the 24th of August. I had a really good week off work. He said work off week. that's normal. I had a really good week off work. I have nearly finished copy editing a novel, which I'm so excited about because I'll be able to send it to my partner so he can read it when he gets a chance, and then hopefully we will decide it's good enough for me to start sending it out to agents. Weirdly, I am less terrified of the possibility of sending it out to agents and getting rejections than I am excited about being able to work on another project. Because I am absolutely desperate to work on something which isn't this novel. I have 2 other novels to edit, like completely from scratch. All I have is first drafts. And I haven't been able to work on them for all of this time because I've just tried to get this one novel done. And now hope is at hand. Also, for my health, trying to sort out my health, I've been prioritising walking. And I went to help my mum with some stuff on one day. I went to town and I saw an exhibition one day. I went to the park, big park, Greenwich, twice. So all in all, I have to say, I have not finished a single print book so far. There are only a few days left of August. So it's not going well on the reading front, but I've had a lovely time. But today, I was going to go for a walk immediately after lunch. It's lunchtime, but I'm not because there is on-off rain predicted. So what I think I'm going to do instead is, first of all, behind me, where you cannot see, I have loads of laundry. Absolutely masses of laundry. Finished laundry. And you know when you have a chair or a banister, in my case, where you put clothes you've worn once but you don't want to put back in the wardrobe until they've aired out. Yeah, that has reached critical mass for me. I literally cannot fit anything else on the banister, so I need to go through that. And what I want to do is get ahead and plan for next week, where I am in the office quite a lot. And so I need, well, not the office, but on campus. I'm actually in libraries again, so good luck to me not growing the TBR. Yeah, I wanted to have a really good display where I got books out last time I went, but I'll be in a different bit, so maybe I might get away with it. Anyway, tangent. So yeah, next week, because I'm going to be working not from home a lot, I don't have like as many opportunities to like listen to a meeting recording and do laundry, so I want to get it sorted before work on Wednesday. So I think if I take the opportunity now while I'm listening to an audiobook and sorting through this laundry to also sort my laundry so that I can put it into the machine quickly on Wednesday, that would be a really good idea. I think that would be a really good idea, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to be listening to Dancing in the Streets, which I am a little bit through. A couple of chapters through, I think. Yeah, from the Plus catalogue. I went through the Plus catalogue, stuff that I added to my library the other day, and I was ruthless, and I got rid of anything that I think I didn't really want to read. So I've whittled it right down to like 30 books or so. So the end is in sight, and hopefully I'll be free of Audible within not too long. But there we go, that's my plan, and I will let you know when I'm settling in to read Seven Devils, which is my print book that I'm very, very, very much hoping to get on with too. Hello, I'm back. My lipstick has worn off. Having lunch and drinking tea. I'm drinking English garden tea from Liberty, which I got in a little box set for Christmas, I think it was. Several years ago now, and it came in a set, I think, with I think Earl Grey, which I think I managed to take to work and drink up, lemongrass and ginger, which I got through like that because I drink a lot of lemongrass and ginger. It's mint tea, which I'm still working on, and it's English garden tea, which I always forget I have. I think it's like nettle and chamomile and lavender, a whole bunch of different things. It's really nice. So that's where my lipstick went. And I've listened to quite a decent little chunk of the book. I'm now below 4 hours to go on it. I think it's over 9 hours long in total, but I am listening to it on double speed. So yeah, here I am. Now, I had a little debate with myself. Do I go for a walk now and then read when I come back? But I thought, actually, I need to think of what to make for dinner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read for a bit now. And then an hour before I need to go get dinner ready, I'm going to go for a walk and listen to some more of this audiobook on my headphones. And yeah, and then kind of in the back of my mind, I can be solidifying my dinner plans, because I don't think I have like stuff to follow a particular recipe, but I do have lots of different possible vegetables and things, so yeah, hopefully that will all work out. Hello, please excuse the fact that the lighting here is terrible. It's on Monday. Saturday I never actually ended up going for my walk because it just kept raining. It kept doing this really heavy wet bursts of rain. I just didn't want to risk it, so I stayed in, and I read quite a good chunk of Seven Devils because of that. Saturday I finished copy editing my novel, yay, and then we went for a walk, which is absolutely lovely, until the point where I twisted my ankle. So this is going to be a very short vlog because I have to go back and resume lying down. Good times. Oh boy, but at least having to rush home, having to get a cab home and then lie on the sofa for the rest of the day meant I did get to get some more of Seven Devils done. I'm nearly done. Yesterday I was meant to start the Illumicrate read along for the current, the most recent book, but I did not, so I am now 2 days behind on that. But today I did read a book I picked up on a Thursday. I totally forgot to mention that I picked up some books on Thursday. So I picked up, first of all, I picked up the exhibition catalogue for the exhibition I went to see. And now you all know the rule. I need to read this quickly, but it's an exhibition catalogue, so it's mostly images. So hopefully that won't be too bad. And after seeing that exhibition, I went to meet my partner and to go see Barbie at a local independent cinema, where they have a community bookshelf. Other than that, I was quite surprised to see a graphic novel, I guess. It's kind of based on the author's like mother's life, but that's just got a graphic novel. It's in translation from Korean. It's called Mums. I am showing you a little close-up because as I'm talking to you on this vlog, I do not have my copy upstairs. I left it downstairs for my partner to maybe pick up and read. And the reason I've left it with him is because I've already read it. I read it today while we were out on the train, so I'm really pleased with that because that went on my TBR and came off my TBR straight away, which is the ideal. That is how I would like it all to go. But anyway, back in reality, I am home now for the rest of the evening, so I am going to plait my hair, take off my makeup, and read some more Seven Devils. Yeah, speak to you later. Hello, if I look like I'm in pain, it's because I kind of am. It is an incredibly hot day today in September. Yes, September. The sun is blasting through all the windows of my house. It's such an extreme that the only place I can sit is the living room because it's downstairs and we have an awning open to shield the windows. And even then, there is so much light coming in through the window, I've had to not sit opposite the window. I am sitting adjacent to the window. So if half my face is in sun, half my face is in shadows, that's why. But we're going to work with it. We're going to be amateur hour today because I just cannot do it any other way. It's just too hot. But I have stuff I need to update you on, obviously, because I said it is September. and it is September. So what happened after my last August bit of vlogging was I did not go for a walk because it started chucking it down with rain again. It rained several times that evening, and so I did not go out for a walk because I looked at the forecast. It was just so ambiguous and unpredictable that I was like, no, I'm just going to stay and read. It was good because I did manage to finish Seven Devils, but then because it was a duology, I thought, oh, I better buy and read the second one now, because I checked it wasn't available at the library, so I had no excuse to put it off. I had to buy it. So I just thought, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to get it out the way so that's not hanging over me, that's not on my virtual TBR, my sort of like in my head TBR for books I haven't purchased yet. So yeah, I did that, I read that, and then it was basically the end of the month and I was like, what happened? Because I did not read any August from previous year Illumicrate books. I only read the one I had left over from July that I hadn't read. So, yeah, that did not go well. And then the month just kind of ended. And I was like, what happened to that? Because I had intended to read so much more, especially in that week I had off. I was feeling so positive about it. What happened was good weather, and me wanting to go out and do things. And me going to the libraries at work for work and getting books out while I was there, and also the fact that the public library added a whole bunch of really exciting graphic novels to Libby, and I saw them there before anybody else had requested them or borrowed them, so I was able to borrow a bunch of them straight away. Some of them I wasn't able to borrow straight away, but I was able to get a hold in straight away, which meant I was then top of the list, and they all just kind of came through, and so I had a lot of graphic novels to read, a lot of library books to read, and I basically completely nosedived off of the wagon. Like literally, I did the high jump off of the wagon into a pile of new books, and on the one hand, like, no regrets, because I've read some fantastic stuff. I really, you know, the graphic novels don't take long at all. I am more than halfway through my goal for the year. Yes, at the start of September, I'm more than halfway through my goal for the year. But that is because, if you're new here, my very aspirational reading goal for the year is 200 books. I have read some amazing stuff. I got some amazing books out of the libraries at work. If I'm really honest, there are some more that I'm hoping to get read before the end of my current contract. And yeah, I high dived. Is it high jump? What is it? The top dive? I don't know. I don't watch the Olympics or any other swimming competitions, diving competitions. I don't even know the difference between diving and swimming. Yeah, so yeah, that spectacular dive off the very top of the top diving board at the Olympic pool. Yeah, I actually don't really have regrets. I don't actually really feel that bad about it, except for that my pile of books is basically the same as last month, but with 3 more books added on. So yeah. August, not great in getting down the TBR, but I think we're just going to have to just let this one slide because of extenuating circumstances, right? New graphic novels and contract ending, so needing to make the most use out of the libraries at work that I can while I can. Yeah, we're going to let that one go. Forgive myself and get back on the wagon, saddle up, do up our seatbelt, strap ourselves in so we cannot escape, and move forward in life. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in my next video, which will of course be my planning video. So yeah, thanks for watching this sporadic vlog. Another thing I'm going to be talking about in our planning video is how to vlog more, because yeah, I've never tried to, like, it's not really daily, but it's whenever I am reading vlog before, and it's a new experience for me, and I've obviously messed it up completely, but I'm not going to let that hold me back from starting this channel. As I'm recording this, I am still like 2 months out for posting this actual video, because I'll be posting my first month's video this month, hopefully. I edited one recently. I edited my very first video, the intro video. So if you're wondering where the timeline difference is between me and you, that's that. One thing I don't think I ever explained is that I'm doing these videos on a delay, and I'm calling them, although I talk about what month it is in the video themselves, I am calling them like month 1, month 2, month 3, and so on in the titles, and that's because I have chronic health issues, and I don't want the pressure of and the disappointment of failing to do a video in time. So basically, by the fact that I'm recording these a few months in advance of you actually watching them, gives me time to catch up if need be. It's kind of like a safety blanket. And just because I have so many other competing priorities in my life, it just gives me more time to have videos queued up and ready to go, and not be working like to the moment. So yeah, that's how it is. That may change in future. But that's how it is now. So anyway, thank you for watching, and you'll see me in the next video, which is my September planning. Woo woo!